Group A. This is the host nation group, a team who carries 30 years of World Cup pressure into their home tournament. Mexico. Co-hosts Mexico enter their home World Cup carrying the weight of 17 consecutive tournament appearances, a streak dating back to 1994. Under the strategic guidance of Javier Aguirre, El Tri have demonstrated renewed attacking efficiency, capturing their record-extending 10th CONCACAF Gold Cup title in July 2025 and claiming their first-ever Nations League crown in March. Biggest star, Santiago Giménez. The 24-year-old forward completed a €32 million transfer to AC Milan in February 2025 after establishing himself as one of Europe's most clinical finishers at Feyenoord. Giménez broke the record for most goals scored by a Mexican in a single Champions League season with 6 goals. However, his adaptation to Serie A has been challenging. In his first partial season, he managed just 5 goals in 14 appearances, and his 2025-26 campaign has started slowly. The World Cup arrives at a critical moment, either a platform for redemption or further frustration. Breakthrough candidate, Gilberto Mora. At just 16 years old, Mora received his first senior Gold Cup call-up, a testament to Mexican football's youth development pipeline. His technical proficiency and composure under pressure suggest a player whose performance metrics could accelerate dramatically on the World Cup stage. Tactical analysis. Strengths: attacking depth, tournament experience, home advantage across multiple venues. Defensive vulnerabilities. Consistency at centre-back remains a concern. Mexico's back line has shown susceptibility to pace on the counter-attack, and set-piece defending requires significant improvement before tournament intensity begins. Next, one of the biggest surprises of 2026. South Africa. Bafana Bafana have achieved something extraordinary, ending a 16-year World Cup drought by topping their qualifying group with 18 points and an unbeaten record. Under Belgian coach Hugo Broos, South Africa's squad value has increased by 25%, reflecting genuine improvement in player development and tactical organisation. Biggest star, Ronwen Williams. The 28-year-old Mamelodi Sundowns goalkeeper emerged as the hero of AFCON 2023 and maintained that elite form throughout qualification, recording over 40 saves. Williams represents the psychological anchor of this team, a shot-stopper whose reflexes and positioning have kept South Africa competitive against superior opposition. Lyle Foster plays as a striker for Burnley in the Premier League, providing valuable top-flight experience. Breakthrough candidate, Oswin Apolis. The 23-year-old Polokwane City winger contributed 4 qualifier goals, including a crucial double against Benin. His direct running style and willingness to take on defenders could make him South Africa's primary creative outlet in transition. Tactical analysis. Strengths: defensive solidity, conceding less than 1 goal per game and only 5 across 10 qualifiers. The 60% PSL-based squad, dominated by Mamelodi Sundowns players, provides exceptional team cohesion. Defensive vulnerabilities. Despite strong defensive metrics, South Africa's finishing remains concerning, only 14 goals in 10 qualifiers. Squad depth becomes critical if injuries affect key players. Here's why South Africa matters in this group. They don't need to beat Mexico, they just need to frustrate them, and their defensive record suggests they absolutely can. Now to a team with genuine knockout round pedigree, South Korea. The Taeguk Warriors have qualified for their 11th consecutive World Cup, a streak dating to 1986 that only 5 nations have matched. Biggest star, Son Heung-min. The 33-year-old captain holds over 130 international caps and became the first Asian player to score 100 Premier League goals. Son completed a historic MLS record $26.5 million transfer to Los Angeles FC in August 2025, following his Europa League triumph with Tottenham, the club's first trophy in 17 years. The move to MLS raises questions about match sharpness against elite European opposition, but Son's proven pedigree at the highest level suggests he remains capable of producing decisive moments when it matters most. Supporting cast: Hwang Hee-chan. The Wolves forward provides essential attacking depth, offering different movement patterns that complement Son's positioning. His physicality and work rate create tactical flexibility. Tactical analysis: strengths, World Cup experience, proven captain, tournament pedigree from their 2002 semi-final run as co-hosts. South Korea's pressing intensity and transitional speed can trouble any opponent. Defensive vulnerabilities: recent tournaments have exposed weaknesses in the centre-back partnership, particularly against physically dominant strikers.
The fourth spot, UEFA Playoff Path D. 4 teams battle for Group A's final position, and the playoffs provide a brutal single-elimination format in March 2026. Denmark. Brian Riemer's Denmark squad features exceptional attacking talent. Rasmus Højlund, the 22-year-old Napoli forward on loan from Manchester United, has scored 4 goals in his last 3 World Cup qualifiers, establishing himself as Denmark's primary goal threat. Christian Eriksen provides veteran playmaking experience with 147 caps and 46 international goals. Denmark finished second in Group C behind Scotland after a dramatic 4-2 loss at Hampden Park ended their direct qualification hopes. However, their attacking quality and experienced core make them clear favourites to navigate the playoff path. Playoff path: Denmark versus North Macedonia, semi-final. Winner faces Czechia or Republic of Ireland in final. Czechia. The Czech Republic enter the playoffs with a balanced squad, but face the challenge of inconsistent form. Their path could lead to a fascinating tactical battle between 2 Central European football philosophies. Republic of Ireland. Ireland secured their playoff spot with Troy Parrott's dramatic hat-trick, including a 96th-minute winner against Hungary. Parrott's form, 5 goals in his last few internationals, provides hope, though the squad lacks the depth of their potential opponents. Playoff path: Czechia versus Republic of Ireland, semi-final. Winner faces Denmark or North Macedonia in final. North Macedonia. The team that famously eliminated Italy from the 2022 World Cup playoffs remains dangerous. North Macedonia's defensive organisation and counter-attacking efficiency have proven capable of producing upsets against technically superior opponents. They enter via the Nations League pathway, adding unpredictability to the equation. Home advantage or host nation curse. 30 years of pressure, and 3 nations desperate to spoil the party. Group A sets the tone for everything that follows. Group B. Another host nation group, and Canada's injury crisis could define their tournament. Canada. Co-hosts Canada will stage their first ever Men's World Cup matches on home soil, beginning June 12th in Toronto. Under Jesse Marsh's leadership, the Canadian project has evolved from exciting potential to legitimate tournament contender, despite a challenging injury crisis affecting key players. Biggest star: Jonathan David. The 25-year-old forward joined Juventus on a free transfer in July 2025, after leaving Lille as their 3rd all-time top scorer with 109 goals across 232 matches. David scored on his Serie A debut. His movement, finishing technique, and consistent goal production make him Canada's most reliable attacking weapon. Key concern: Alphonso Davies.
The Bayern Munich star suffered a torn ACL in March 2025 at the CONCACAF Nations League third-place playoff against the United States. The injury sparked controversy between Bayern Munich and Canada over player management. Davies returned to team training in November 2025, beating his expected recovery timeline. Bayern manager Vincent Kompany indicated he could return to match action in December, but his fitness, form, and match sharpness heading into the tournament remain significant question marks. Here's what this means for Canada. When fully fit, Davies transforms their attacking threat. Without him at full capacity, their ceiling drops considerably. Canada's defensive core has been decimated by injuries. Moise Bombito, broken tibia; Samuel Adekugbe, torn Achilles; Alistair Johnston, torn hamstring surgery; and Luc de Fougerolles, sports hernia, all face lengthy recovery timelines. Marsch has responded by recruiting dual nationals, including goalkeeper Owen Goodman from Huddersfield Town and centre-back Alfie Jones from Middlesbrough. Tactical analysis. Strengths: home advantage, David's clinical finishing, Marsch's tactical flexibility. The Gold Cup loss to Guatemala on penalties has motivated squad-wide improvement. Defensive vulnerabilities. The injury crisis has exposed serious depth issues. Set-piece defending and aerial duels remain concerns. Now to one of Europe's most consistent tournament performers. Switzerland. The Natty secured World Cup qualification with a commanding 4-0 victory over Lithuania, continuing their remarkable consistency. Switzerland have qualified for their 12th World Cup finals. Biggest star: Granit Xhaka. The 33-year-old captain and midfield general returned to the Premier League in dramatic fashion, joining newly promoted Sunderland for £17.3 million in July 2025 after his Bundesliga title-winning campaign with Bayer Leverkusen. Named Sunderland captain, Xhaka has been instrumental in their impressive Premier League survival fight, sitting 7th as of late November. His ability to control tempo, win ball recoveries, and convert crucial penalties makes him irreplaceable. Xhaka became the most capped captain in Swiss history during qualifying. Supporting cast. Manuel Akanji provides an elite centre-back presence from Manchester City. Breel Embolo offers physical power and clinical finishing as the primary striker. Dan Ndoye emerged as a breakout performer during qualification with crucial goals and assists. Tactical analysis. Strengths: tactical organisation, midfield control through Xhaka combined with defensive discipline. Switzerland dominated a 4-0 friendly victory over the USA in preparation. Lack of elite depth in attacking positions may be their biggest issue. When opponents can neutralise Xhaka, Switzerland's creative output diminishes significantly. Qatar. The 2022 World Cup hosts return to the global stage, though their home tournament performance, 3 losses without scoring, exposed significant gaps against elite opposition. Qatar's Asian Cup success demonstrates regional strength, but World Cup competition represents a different level of tactical and physical intensity. Tactical analysis. Strengths: technical proficiency and experience from hosting the previous tournament. Defensive vulnerabilities: physical disadvantage against European and South American opponents. Goalkeeping concerns and difficulty creating chances against organised defences plagued their 2022 campaign. Let me be direct. Qatar are heavy underdogs in this group. Their 2022 performance suggests they'll struggle to compete.
The 4th spot, UEFA Playoff Path A. This could be the most dramatic of all playoff paths because 4-time World Cup winners Italy might miss their 3rd consecutive tournament. Italy.
Four-time World Cup winners Italy find themselves in playoff territory for the third consecutive cycle, after missing both 2018 and 2022. Luciano Spalletti was sacked, following a shocking 3-0 loss to Norway in their opening qualifier. Gennaro Gattuso took over, producing a 5-0 debut victory over Estonia before a concerning 4-1 home defeat to Norway sent them to the playoffs. Key players include Gianluigi Donnarumma in goal, Sandro Tonali, Alessandro Bastoni, and Riccardo Calafiori. The talent exists. Gattuso's passion and tactical adjustments offer hope, but this remains a squad below European elite standards. Playoff path: Italy versus Northern Ireland semi-final in Italy. Winner faces Wales or Bosnia and Herzegovina in the final. Wales. Wales seek redemption after heartbreaking playoff defeats. Harry Wilson's hat-trick in a 7-1 demolition of North Macedonia secured their second-place finish in Group J. Their experienced core, including familiar Premier League faces, provides competitive foundation. Manager Rob Page will look to Brennan Johnson, Tottenham, Ethan Ampadu, Chelsea, and the evergreen Aaron Ramsey to guide Wales to their first World Cup since 1958. Playoff path: Wales versus Bosnia and Herzegovina, semi-final in Wales. Winner hosts the final. Northern Ireland. Michael O'Neill's side faced the longest odds in playoff path A. They finished third in Group A behind Germany and Slovakia, but earned their playoff spot through Nations League performance. Their path is brutal: away to four-time champions Italy in the semi-final, and if they somehow produce a historic upset, away again in the final. Northern Ireland hasn't featured at a World Cup since 1986. The squad relies heavily on Premier League talent. Liverpool's Conor Bradley provides attacking threat from right-back, while Sunderland duo Daniel Ballard and Trey Hume anchor the defence. Southampton's Shea Charles offers midfield energy and composure. Bosnia and Herzegovina. The Dragons finished second in Group H behind Austria after winning their first 4 qualifiers before stumbling. Their campaign is defined by one man, Edin Dzeko. At 39 years old, the Fiorentina striker remains Bosnia's captain, all-time top scorer, 71 goals, and most capped player, 143 appearances. In June 2025, he became UEFA's oldest goalscorer in World Cup qualification history. A home semi-final against Wales offers hope. Bosnia's passionate crowds in Zenica have proven a fortress. Should they progress, they would host the final. Italy's superior depth should see them through, but this is a nation that has failed to qualify for 2 consecutive World Cups. Wales hosting Bosnia is genuinely 50-50. Canada's injury crisis, Switzerland's quiet consistency, Italy's desperation to avoid a 3rd consecutive absence. Group B is defined by what each team has to lose.
Group C. This group reunites 3 nations who shared a group in France 1998. And let me tell you right now, this might be the group of death. Brazil. Brazil enter the 2026 World Cup under Don Carlo's leadership. Carlo Ancelotti appointed May 12, 2025, making him Brazil's first ever foreign coach. After Real Madrid's Champions League elimination and domestic disappointments, Ancelotti accepted the challenge of ending Brazil's 24-year World Cup drought. Biggest star, Vinicius Jr. The Real Madrid forward has established himself as one of football's most devastating attacking players. His dribbling ability, pace, and decisive finishing in high-pressure moments make him Brazil's primary creative force.
At 25, Vinicius enters his peak years with World Cup glory as the defining target. Potential breakthrough, Estevão. The 18-year-old Chelsea sensation has exploded onto the world stage. Since joining from Palmeiras in August 2025, he's become only the third teenager, after Mbappe and Haaland, to score in each of his first 3 Champions League starts. For Brazil, he's already netted 5 goals in 11 appearances, making him the second youngest player to reach that milestone after Pelé. Ancelotti has been unequivocal. Estevão will be at the World Cup. Here's what this means. In a squad preparing for life without Neymar, the emergence of a teenage winger who combines Brazilian flair with fearless finishing feels like destiny's answer. The Neymar question. Neymar's return to Santos has become a cautionary tale. His 4th significant injury of 2025, a meniscus tear in November, ruled him out for the remainder of the Brazilian season. At 33, having not played a single minute for Brazil under Ancelotti, his World Cup involvement remains uncertain. Ancelotti's position is clear. I want him 100% fit. Tactical analysis. Strengths. Attacking talent depth, Rodrigo, Rafinha, Estevão, Gabriel Martinelli. Ancelotti's elite management experience. Determination to end the drought. Vulnerabilities. Defensive organization and communication remain works in progress. Brazil's historical tendency to concede from set pieces and transitions hasn't been fully resolved. Brazil are tournament favorites. If Estevão hits form alongside Vinicius, they might be unstoppable. Now to the team every analyst is scared to face. Morocco. The 2022 World Cup's breakout story, the first African and Arab nation to reach a semi-final, have somehow elevated their performance since Qatar. Morocco achieved an extraordinary 18-match winning streak, surpassing Spain's previous record of 15 to establish the longest winning run by any national team in football history. They became the first African nation to qualify for 2026, finishing their campaign with a perfect 8 wins from 8. Morocco might be better than they were in 2022. Let that sink in. Biggest star, Achraf Hakimi. The PSG captain claimed the 2025 African Player of the Year award after leading his club to their first ever Champions League title, scoring in the quarter-finals, semi-finals, and the 5-0 demolition of Inter Milan in the final. At 27, Hakimi has become the first defender to win the Continental Award since 1973 and the first Moroccan since Mustafa Hadji in 1998. His attacking runs, defensive recovery speed, and leadership presence make him one of world football's most complete fullbacks. Supporting cast. Brahim Diaz provides creative spark from Real Madrid. Emerging talents Bilal El Khanous, Chelsea, Ismail Saibari, PSV, and Elias Ben Seguir, Monaco, add youth and dynamism. Goalkeeper Yassine Bounou, also named Africa's best goalkeeper for 2025, continues delivering match-winning performances. Tactical analysis. Strengths. Defensive organization that frustrated Spain and Portugal in 2022. Team unity, winning mentality under Walid Regragui, world record momentum. Vulnerabilities. Maintaining intensity against heightened expectations. Every opponent now prepares specifically for Morocco's tactical approach. The pressure of being favorites rather than underdogs represents uncharted psychological territory. Haiti. Haiti's qualification represents one of football's most remarkable stories and 2025's most improbable triumph. The Caribbean nation ended a 51-year World Cup drought by topping their CONCACAF group with a 2-0 victory over Nicaragua, despite their French coach, Sébastien Mignet, never setting foot in the country since his appointment 18 months ago. "It's impossible because it's too dangerous," Mignet told L'Équipe. "I usually live in the countries where I work, but I can't here. There are no more international flights landing there. Armed gangs control most of Port-au-Prince. Haiti's national stadium was overtaken in March 2024. Every home qualifier was played 500 miles away in Curaçao. The qualification came on November 18th, the anniversary of the 1803 Battle of Vertières that secured Haiti's independence. Key players. The all-diaspora squad features Jean-Rickner Bellegarde, Wolves, formerly a French under-21 international who chose Haiti. France Di Piero, AEK Athens, provides attacking threat. Captain Johnny Placide delivered crucial clean sheets throughout qualification. Historical context. Haiti's only previous World Cup appearance came in 1974, when Emmanuel Mano Sanon scored against Italy, breaking legendary goalkeeper Dino Zoff's 1,142-minute unbeaten streak. This team carries an entire nation's dreams. Scotland. The Tartan Army returns to football's biggest stage for the first time in 28 years after a dramatic 4-2 victory over Denmark at Hampden Park. A night that will live forever in Scottish football lore. Scott McTominay's early bicycle kick set the tone. When Denmark equalised twice through Rasmus Højlund and Patrick Dorgu, despair threatened. Then came stoppage time. Kieran Tierney's curling 93rd-minute strike, followed by Kenny McLean's audacious shot from the halfway line over Kasper Schmeichel to trigger pandemonium. "We certainly put the country through it," Captain Andy Robertson said, fighting tears. "One of the craziest games of football." Steve Clarke's men topped their qualifying group, going through as group winners for the first time since 1982. 6 managers had failed to reach a World Cup since Craig Brown led Scotland to France 1998. Key players. McTominay, Napoli, provides goals and presence. Robertson, Liverpool, offers experience and leadership. John McGinn, Aston Villa, Billy Gilmore, Napoli, and Kieran Tierney, Arsenal, form a technical core capable of competing at the highest level. Tactical analysis. Strengths. Players experienced in top European leagues, passionate supporter base, Steve Clarke's organisational discipline, never say die mentality proven against Denmark. Vulnerabilities. Historical tendency to struggle against technically superior opponents. Brazil and Morocco await, the same opponents who sent Scotland home bottom of the group in 1998. Scotland could shock the world, again. Their never-say-die mentality makes them dangerous against anyone. The group of death reunites 1998 rivals and adds a nation that already defied all odds. Drop your predictions in the comments.
Group D. This is a home nation group with a favourable draw and maximum pressure to capitalise on it. United States. The USMNT enters their first home World Cup in 32 years with a mandate: prove American soccer has arrived. Under Mauricio Pochettino, appointed in late 2024 on a record investment, the Americans have built momentum through 2025, going unbeaten in their final 5 matches, including victories over Australia 2-1, Paraguay 2-1, and a statement 5-1 demolition of Uruguay in Tampa that announced their World Cup intentions. Biggest star, Christian Pulisic. The AC Milan forward is undoubtedly the most talented player in USMNT history. At 27, Pulisic has evolved from promising teenager to world-class playmaker. He finished 2024-25 as Milan's top scorer with 17 goals and 10 assists, earned consecutive Serie A Team of the Season selections, and broke Clint Dempsey's record for most American goals in Europe's top 5 leagues. The World Cup represents his chance to transcend club football and become a genuine American sporting icon.
Supporting cast. The squad's depth reflects Pochettino's philosophy of competition and flexibility. Weston McKennie, Juventus, Tyler Adams, Bournemouth, Anthony Robinson, Fulham, and Chris Richards, Crystal Palace, provide Premier League and Serie A experience. The crucial question: who starts alongside Pulisic in attack? Folarin Balogun, Ricardo Pepi, and Josh Sargent all offer different profiles. Balogun the technician, Pepi the poacher, Sargent the physical presence. Tactical analysis. Home advantage across 3 group matches, 2 in Los Angeles, 1 in Seattle, provides either an advantage or relentless pressure. The 2024 Copa America group stage exit remains fresh. American soccer's tendency to underperform in high-pressure moments haunts the program's history. A favorable draw increases rather than relieves pressure. The USA should advance from this group. Anything less would be a disaster. Paraguay. La Albiroja returns to the World Cup for the first time since 2010, when they reached the quarter-finals before losing to eventual champions Spain. Under Gustavo Alfaro, Paraguay secured the final automatic CONMEBOL slot through defensive solidity, conceding just 10 goals in qualifying, level with Argentina. Key players. Miguel Almiron brings Premier League experience from 6 years at Newcastle, now returned to Atlanta United. Julio Enciso, Strasbourg, represents emerging talent capable of tournament-defining moments. His thunderbolt against Manchester City in 2023 announced a player with rare technical gifts. Captain Gustavo Gomes from Palmeiras anchors a defense that frustrated Brazil with a 1-0 victory and Argentina with a 2-1 victory during qualifying. Tactical analysis. Strengths: defensive organization, physical intensity, ability to frustrate favorites. Vulnerabilities: limited attacking creativity when opponents sit deep. The 16-year absence from World Cups means most players lack tournament experience at this level. Australia. The Socceroos qualified directly after finishing second in their AFC group under Tony Popovic, who replaced Graham Arnold following a winless opening window that included a shock 1-0 home defeat to Bahrain. Popovic delivered immediate results, a famous 1-0 victory over Japan in Perth through Aziz Behic's 90-minute winner, followed by a 2-1 triumph in Saudi Arabia that sealed automatic qualification. Key players. Watford's Nestori Irankunda offers explosive potential. His free-kick prowess has already drawn attention across Europe. Matt Ryan became the third Socceroo to reach 100 caps in the qualification clinching match against Saudi Arabia, saving a crucial 85th minute penalty. Tactical analysis. Strengths: defensive discipline, set-piece threat, tournament experience from 2022, where they reached the round of 16 for the first time since 2006. Vulnerabilities: creative limitations, aging core, lack of elite individual talent compared to group opponents.
UEFA Playoff C. 4 nations compete in March 2026 for the final Group D slot. Turkey. Semi-final versus Slovakia, the favourites. Arda Güler, Real Madrid, and Kenan Yildiz, Juventus, provide generational talent. Manager Vincenzo Montella has built a squad capable of threatening anyone, but consistency remains elusive. Romania. Semi-final versus Kosovo. Finished second in their qualifying group, ahead of Switzerland on head-to-head. A defensively organised side, lacking individual brilliance, but capable of making life uncomfortable. Slovakia. Finished second behind Germany,
but defensive limitations were exposed in a 6-0 final day defeat. Kosovo. The youngest national team in Europe would represent the ultimate underdog story. Playoff prediction. Turkey's individual quality should see them through. Gula and Yildiz give them firepower that the other three nations can't match. Home soil. Favorable draw. No excuses. Group D is where American soccer proves it belongs, or explains why it doesn't.
Group E, Germany. Germany entered the 2026 World Cup in transition, and their entire tournament might depend on one ankle. The retirements of Manuel Neuer, Toni Kroos, Thomas Müller and Ilkay Gundogan after Euro 2024 closed a chapter. Julian Nagelsmann has responded by building around the most exciting creative partnership in European football, Jamal Musiala and Florian Wirtz. But there's uncertainty. Musiala suffered a broken fibula and dislocated ankle during Bayern's Club World Cup quarter-final against Paris Saint-Germain in July 2025. The collision with Gianluigi Donnarumma was horrific. Players from both teams looked shaken. Musiala has been out for the entire 2025-26 season. He is returning to training with the ball, potentially available for Bayern's December fixtures. His World Cup participation hinges on full recovery and creative output. Vincent Kompany's verdict. 2026 could be his year. If he returns at full fitness, Germany are genuine contenders. If not, they're a talented squad missing their transformative element. Florian Wirtz, meanwhile, has struggled to adapt to English football since his British record £116 million transfer to Liverpool in June 2025. At 22, he's adjusting to Premier League intensity after dominating Bundesliga for Bayer Leverkusen. The squad remains formidable beyond its headline creators. Joshua Kimmich captains a side that dismantled Slovakia 6-0 in qualifying. Kai Havertz has found renewed form at Arsenal. Leroy Sané offers explosive width when fit, but the psychological scars remain. The quarter-final elimination to Spain on home soil, despite a feel-good tournament, exposed vulnerabilities in decisive moments. We move on to the most remarkable qualification story in World Cup history. Curaçao, an island of 156,000 people. Smaller than most European club academies' catchment areas. The smallest nation by population ever to qualify for a World Cup, surpassing Iceland's record from 2018. Their final qualification match told the story. A 0-0 draw away to Jamaica, riding luck as Jamaica struck the woodwork 3 times. A potential decisive penalty in stoppage time overturned by VAR. When the whistle blew, history was made. Dick Advocaat, 78 years old, leads his third nation at a World Cup. He took the Netherlands to the 1994 quarter-finals. He coached South Korea in 2006. Now he returns to the United States with the smallest nation ever to compete, and will become the oldest manager in World Cup history. Curaçao's squad represents football's globalized reality. Many players were born in the Netherlands to parents or grandparents with Caribbean heritage. Joshua Brenet played World Cup qualifiers for the Netherlands in 2016 before switching allegiance. Tahith Chong progressed through Manchester United's academy. Captain Leandro Bacuna anchors the midfield, a former Premier League player with Aston Villa and Watford. The players come from Rotherham, from Bandar Maspor, from the Saudi Second Division. Names unfamiliar to most viewers, but they'll share a pitch with the 4-time world champions. Germany versus Curaçao opens Group E in Houston on June 14, 2026. Population differential, roughly 530 to 1. Côte d'Ivoire. The Elephants bring momentum from their dramatic AFCON 2023 triumph on home soil. Coming back from the brink after a disastrous group stage, they sacked their coach mid-tournament and still lifted the trophy. Performances that announced their return to continental dominance. Qualifying brought consistency. They topped their African group unbeaten across 10 matches.
Amad Diallo's breakthrough at Manchester United added genuine Premier League star power, while Franck Kessié and Sébastien Haller provide experienced leadership. Tactical analysis, strengths, AFCON momentum, physical presence, attacking talent depth across European leagues. Vulnerabilities. Inconsistency against elite European opposition remains untested at this level. Their last World Cup appearance in 2014 ended in group stage elimination, despite a squad featuring Yaya Touré and Didier Drogba. This generation lacks that caliber of global superstar. Their strength comes from collective spirit rather than individual brilliance.
Ecuador. Ecuador finished fourth in CONMEBOL qualifying, the most brutal qualification process in world football. 18 matches against South American opposition where every point is earned through attrition. Moises Caicedo anchors midfield with Premier League authority earned at Chelsea, commanding games with the composure of a player who cost over £100 million. Piero Hincapié provides defensive solidity refined through Bayer Leverkusen's unbeaten Bundesliga campaign. Kendry Páez represents the next generation, the teenager already signed by Chelsea, a glimpse of Ecuador's emerging production line. Tactical analysis. Strengths. South American qualifying pedigree proves mental toughness, Premier League quality in key positions, high-altitude training advantage. Vulnerabilities. Individual defensive errors in past tournaments have proven costly. Experience at knockout stage remains limited. They've never advanced beyond the round of 16, and the weight of expectation on young shoulders could prove decisive. Germany would aim for the trophy, despite legends retiring. Curaçao made history just by qualifying. Group E is where four-time champions meet an island of 156,000 dreamers. Football writes stories like this, then tears up the script. Group F. Netherlands. The Oranje qualified for their 12th World Cup finals with a commanding 4-0 victory over Lithuania. Ronald Koeman's squad features exceptional Premier League talent and tactical flexibility. Biggest star, Virgil van Dijk. The Liverpool captain made Dutch footballing history during qualification, captaining his country for the 72nd time to surpass Frank de Boer as the most capped captain in Netherlands history. At 34, Van Dijk's leadership, aerial dominance and distribution remain world-class. A Premier League winner in 2024 to 2025, he arrives at the World Cup at the peak of his powers. After breaking the record, Van Dijk reflected on his journey. The ACL injury that Jordan Pickford inflicted in 2020 cost him 12 international appearances and nearly derailed his career. Now, he's on course to reach 100 caps before the tournament ends. Supporting cast. Cody Gakpo provides attacking threat with crucial qualifying goals. Ryan Gravenberch has established himself as Liverpool's midfield engine, a transformed player under Arne Slot. Frenkie de Jong's creativity and Xavi Simons' flair complete an impressive attacking arsenal. Jeremy Frimpong's explosive wing-back play offers Koeman tactical flexibility. Mickey van der Ven's recovery pace at Tottenham has made him one of Europe's most coveted young defenders. Tactical analysis. Strengths. Premier League quality throughout the squad. Van Dijk's leadership, attacking depth, Koeman's tactical intelligence from the 2014 third-place finish as Louis van Gaal's assistant. Vulnerabilities. Full-back positions remain works in progress. Netherlands have historically struggled against physically robust opponents who can neutralize their passing rhythm. Japan. Japan became the first non-host nation to qualify for the 2026 World Cup in March 2025. Securing their spot with a clinical 2-0 victory over Bahrain. This will be their 8th consecutive World Cup appearance since 1998. Key players. Takefusa Kubo provides creative brilliance from Real Sociedad. He scored the second goal that clinched qualification. Kaoru Mitoma offers devastating dribbling ability from Brighton. Wataru Endo, Japan's captain and a Premier League winner with Liverpool, anchors the midfield. Daichi Kamada adds technical quality and historical significance.
The Crystal Palace midfielder became the first Asian player to start and win an FA Cup final when Palace stunned Manchester City 1-0 in May 2025. Tactical analysis. Strengths. Tactical discipline in Hajime Moriyasu's 3-4-2-1 formation. European-based quality, pressing intensity. Vulnerabilities. Historical struggles in knockout stages. Japan have lost 4 consecutive World Cup knockout matches. Lack of physical presence against certain opponents remains a concern. Japan could genuinely challenge for the group. Don't underestimate their tactical discipline. Tunisia. The Eagles of Carthage bring African football's tactical discipline and physicality to Group F. This is a nation that understands how to frustrate favourites. Ask Denmark, who they held to a goalless draw in Qatar 2022. Aissa Laidouni anchors the midfield with relentless energy. His box-to-box presence was one of the revelations of the 2022 World Cup. Hannibal Mejbri adds technical quality and fighting spirit, while Elias Skiri provides Bundesliga-tested composure. Captain Youssef Msakni, now 34, remains the creative heartbeat despite his veteran status. Strengths. Defensive organisation, set-piece threat, tournament experience, passionate support base. Vulnerabilities. Creative limitations against deep defending opponents. Individual quality gap in attacking positions compared to elite opposition. European playoff path B. The last place in this group is yet to be decided, and this playoff path features some of Europe's most dangerous attacking talent. Ukraine's journey through qualifying amid ongoing conflict represents football's power to unite nations. Playing every home match on foreign soil, they've demonstrated resilience and technical quality that makes them favourites. Alexander Zinchenko's leadership give them genuine knockout stage potential. Sweden feature Viktor Gyökeres, the man who terrorised Europe with Sporting CP before his Premier League move. And Alexander Isak has unlocked another level of his game. Poland offer Robert Lewandowski, an ageing but biologically anomalous striker whose movement and finishing remain elite at 37. Albania bring tactical discipline forged in their Nations League successes. The semi-finals pit Ukraine versus Sweden and Poland versus Albania. Winners meet in the final for Group F's last spot. Ukraine's emotional drive and tactical quality should see them through, but Gyökeres and Isak in form against anyone is a coin flip. Group F rewards quality, but punishes complacency. Group G. Belgium. This is the group where Belgium's golden generation arrives at what may be their final collective World Cup, carrying a decade of unfulfilled potential. The Red Devils reached #1 in the FIFA rankings, made a 2018 World Cup semi-final, and produced some of the finest individual talents in modern European football, yet has nothing to show for it. A quarter-final exit at Euro 2020 to Italy. A humiliating group stage elimination at the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. A round of 16 loss to France at Euro 2024. The pattern is unmistakable. When it matters most, Belgium find ways to lose. Under new manager Rudi Garcia, Belgium qualified in November, but not without turbulence. A 1-1 draw with Kazakhstan saw 17-year-old Dastan Satpayev give the visitors a 9th-minute lead, sparking pandemonium. Jeremy Doku's post-match criticism, questioning the tactical preparation and suggesting the opponent had been misanalyzed, exposed fractures in Garcia's camp. 3 days later, Belgium silenced doubters with a 7-0 demolition of Liechtenstein. The tension had apparently served as motivation. The De Bruyne question. Kevin De Bruyne left Manchester City after 10 years and joined Serie A champions Napoli on a free transfer in June 2025. The 34-year-old remains Belgium's creative heartbeat when fit. On October 26th, De Bruyne converted a penalty against Inter Milan, then immediately clutched his right hamstring and left the pitch in tears. It was his third consecutive injury suffered against Inter, including the 2023 Champions League final. Surgery in Antwerp confirmed everyone's fears. A high-grade tear to the biceps femoris. Doctors described his hamstring as resembling a wet paper towel. He's out until February or March 2026. The World Cup begins in June. De Bruyne's participation depends entirely on his recovery. Belgium's hopes might depend on it too. Romelu Lukaku, 32, remains Belgium's all-time leading scorer with 89 international goals. 68 goals clear of the next name on the list. He won a second Serie A title at Napoli in May 2025. The next generation is ready. Johan Bakayoko, 22, joined RB Leipzig from PSV. His directness and pace evoke comparisons to a young Arjen Robben. Malik Fofana, just 20, provides explosive pace. Doku's direct dribbling and Loïs Openda's movement offer attacking alternatives that don't rely on De Bruyne's orchestration. Next up, a team that's never reached a World Cup knockout round in 7 attempts. Iran. Iran secured their 7th World Cup appearance and 4th consecutive, with a dramatic 2-2 draw against Uzbekistan in March 2025. Mehdi Taremi, now at Inter Milan, scored both goals, including an 83rd-minute equaliser that sparked pandemonium at the Azadi Stadium in Tehran. Biggest star, Mehdi Taremi. The Inter Milan striker was Iran's qualifying campaign hero. His first goal against Uzbekistan, an unstoppable volley fired into the roof of the net from the edge of the area, announced his intent. His experience in Serie A provides valuable tactical preparation against European opposition. Tactical analysis. Strengths: defensive organization, set-piece threat, passionate support, physical presence. Vulnerabilities: no World Cup knockout round appearance in 7 attempts. The expanded 48-team format offers their best chance yet to make history. Now to a superstar seeking redemption. Egypt. Mohamed Salah is going to the World Cup. The Liverpool icon, now 33, scored twice in a 3-0 victory over Djibouti in October 2025 to seal Egypt's qualification and become the all-time leading scorer in African World Cup qualifying history with 20 goals, surpassing legends Didier Drogba, Samuel Eto'o, and Islam Slimani. This is almost certainly Salah's final World Cup. He'll be 34 when the tournament kicks off. His only previous appearance came in Russia 2018, where a shoulder injury suffered in the Champions League final against Real Madrid left him a shadow of himself. Egypt lost all 3 group games. 8 years later, Salah returns to the world stage as Africa's most decorated player. Supporting cast. Omar Marmoush represents Egypt's attacking future and present. After an explosive Bundesliga campaign at Eintracht Frankfurt, he joined Manchester City in January 2025 for €75 million. At 26, he's entering his prime alongside Salah rather than waiting to replace him. Their partnership gives Egypt a two-headed attacking threat that previous generations lacked. New Zealand. New Zealand returned to the World Cup for the first time since 2010, carrying Oceania's hopes into a 48-team tournament that offers unprecedented opportunity. They qualified directly for the first time in history after FIFA granted Oceania a guaranteed berth. No more brutal intercontinental playoffs against CONCACAF or CONMEBOL opposition that ended their dreams in 2014, 2018, and 2022. The All-Whites beat New Caledonia 3-0 in the Oceania final at Eden Park. Chris Wood was the youngest player in their 2010 squad at 18. He'll likely be the oldest at 33 in 2026. Now captain, most capped player, and all-time leading scorer. He scored 9 times in qualifying, more than double the next highest scorer. Key concern: too dependent on Chris Wood. Without him, New Zealand lose their primary goal threat and tactical focal point. Recent friendlies exposed the gap. After qualifying, they lost 6 of their last 7 matches against proper opposition, including Colombia and Ecuador. Belgium's last chance at glory. Salah's redemption tour. Iran's 7-tournament knockout curse. This group is pure narrative. Tell me who you've got advancing in the comments.
Group H, Spain. Spain enter the 2026 World Cup as defending European champions, but there's concern about their biggest star. Luis de la Fuente's side completed an unbeaten qualification campaign, 5 wins and 1 draw, scoring 21 goals while conceding just 2. The tactical identity that conquered Euro 2024 remains intact, but there's concern. Lamine Yamal, the 18-year-old Barcelona winger who won the 2024 Copa Trophy, Euro 2024 Young Player of the Tournament, and finished as 2025 Ballon d'Or runner-up, has been battling a persistent groin injury throughout the season. In November 2025, Yamal underwent invasive radiofrequency treatment after the condition resurfaced following a Champions League match against PSG. The federation was surprised and upset to learn of the procedure on the same day Yamal was supposed to report for international duty. Barcelona coach Hansi Flick accused the national team of not taking care of young players. If Yamal arrives healthy, Spain are favourites. If his body fails him mid-tournament, their entire attacking structure transforms. Potential game changers. Rodri won the 2024 Ballon d'Or with his elite midfield control, though reoccurring injuries creates a question mark on his match fitness. Pedri and Gavi provide Barcelona's creative core. Nico Williams offers explosive wing play. The depth of young talent is extraordinary. Uruguay, now to a nation with more international trophies than anyone else on earth. Uruguay carries a history no other nation can match. 2-time World Cup winners, 19 official FIFA trophies, a world record at senior national team level, including 15 Copa America titles. Marcelo Bielsa's tactical innovations now guide a squad blending established stars with emerging talent. Federico Valverde remains Uruguay's midfield engine. The Real Madrid star provides the intensity, passing range, and shooting ability that drives La Celeste's best performances. At 26, he's entering his prime at the perfect moment. Darwin Núñez presents more complicated questions. The 26-year-old left Liverpool for Al Hilal in August 2025 for €53 million after 3 hit-and-miss seasons at Anfield. Reports from December 2025 suggest he's already unsettled in Saudi Arabia. When Núñez fires, his explosive pace and movement terrify defenses. When confidence abandons him, the chaos becomes counterproductive. Which version arrives in June? Uruguay's defensive questions persist. The 5-1 friendly loss to USA in November 2025 exposed concerning issues. Can lightning strike twice? We're talking about Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia returns as the 2022 World Cup's shock artists. That 2-1 victory over eventual champions Argentina in their opening match remains one of football's greatest upsets. Salem Al-Dawsari's strike sparked scenes of national euphoria. A public holiday was declared. But one magical afternoon in Qatar doesn't guarantee another. Saudi Arabia lost their remaining group games to Poland and Mexico. The high-pressing intensity that suffocated Argentina proved unsustainable across a tournament. Hervé Renard, the mastermind behind that Argentina shock, is back at the helm. Al-Dawsari, now captain with over 100 caps, won his second AFC Player of the Year award in 2025. Qualification to the World Cup required a nervy 4th-round playoff after finishing 3rd behind Japan and Australia. Can they rediscover that lightning in a bottle? Cape Verde, the ultimate underdog. Cape Verde has already written football history. An archipelago of volcanic islands off the western coast of Africa. Population 525,000. The second smallest country ever to qualify for a World Cup, behind only Iceland in 2018. They topped Group D ahead of Cameroon,
the most decorated African nation in World Cup history with 8 previous appearances. Cape Verde went unbeaten at home throughout qualifying, including a 1-0 victory over Cameroon. Ryan Mendes, the national team's all-time leading scorer with 22 goals, brings experience. None of that matters now. Cape Verde shares a group with Spain, Uruguay, and Saudi Arabia. The individual quality gap is significant, but they already achieved the impossible by getting here. For 525,000 people and a global diaspora, June 2026 can't come soon enough. European champions nursing their teenage superstar back to fitness. South American giants with defensive questions. Shock artists chasing lightning twice. And 525,000 people watching Cape Verde compete on football's biggest stage. Group H delivers regardless of results.
Group I. France. Two-time World Cup winners enter their 14th consecutive major tournament under Didier Deschamps, who confirmed in January 2025 that this will be his final campaign. The question isn't whether France have the talent, it's whether a squad knowing their manager is leaving can channel that into motivation rather than uncertainty. Kylian Mbappé remains the centerpiece. The Real Madrid forward, now 27, enters his prime years with more World Cup glory as his remaining obsession. One to watch, Hugo Ekitike. The Liverpool striker is their big positive from the 25-26 season. He opened his international account in France's 4-0 qualifying win over Ukraine. At 22, he represents Deschamps' most intriguing selection gamble. A poacher with elite movement who could provide the focal point France have sometimes lacked when Mbappé drifts wide. Supporting cast. The supporting cast remains absurdly deep. Ousmane Dembélé and Bradley Barcola offer alternative attacking angles. Aurélien Tchouaméni and Eduardo Camavinga control midfield. William Saliba anchors defense. Tactical analysis. Euro 2024's semi-final loss to Spain exposed limitations against organized pressing. Deschamps' pragmatic approach, built on defensive solidity rather than possession dominance, works until opponents decode the counter-attacking patterns. We move on to Africa's reigning champions. Senegal. Pape Thiaw has crafted something remarkable since taking charge in December 2024. 10 wins and 2 draws in 13 matches, conceding just 4 goals. The Lions of Teranga went unbeaten through qualification. A defensive masterclass. Biggest star, Sadio Mane. At 33, the Al Nassr forward likely plays his final World Cup. His return from a brief international absence reinvigorated the squad, and his performance against Mauritania, 2 goals in qualifying's decisive match, demonstrated the big game presence that defined his Liverpool peak. Supporting cast. Nicholas Jackson provides clinical finishing. Ismaila Sarr offers direct wing play. Kalidou Koulibaly captains from defense. Edouard Mendy ensures elite goalkeeping. AFCON 2022 champions. Defensive discipline, attacking depth. Whether they can replicate that form against European elite opposition remains the tournament's most intriguing African subplot. Now to the most dominant qualifying campaign in European history, Norway. They beat Italy 4-1 at San Siro. They won all 8 qualifiers. They finished with a +32 goal difference. And they returned to the World Cup for the first time since 1998, before Erling Haaland was born. The Manchester City striker's 16 goals equaled Robert Lewandowski's single-campaign qualifying record. His 2-minute brace against Italy, first a volleyed finish, then a tap-in, encapsulated Norway's ruthless second-half demolition. "I'm happy but more relieved," Haaland admitted afterwards. Antonio Nusa's emergence adds creative dimension. His dipping equaliser against Italy announced a 19-year-old ready for tournament football. Martin Ødegaard orchestrates from midfield. Alexander Sørloth provides aerial threat. Tactical analysis. Ståle Solbakken has built a team around Haaland without making them one-dimensional. But when opponents neutralize his influence,
something no qualifier opponent managed, Norway's alternative attacking paths narrow considerably. Defensively solid in the qualifiers, though their level when meeting elite attackers remains a big question. Haaland could win the Golden Boot. Norway could shock the world.
The fourth spot, FIFA Intercontinental Playoff. Bolivia, Suriname and Iraq compete for this group's final place, with Iraq receiving a bye directly to the final as the higher-ranked seed. Bolivia face Suriname in the semi-final on March 26th. The winner advances to meet Iraq on March 31st in Monterrey. Bolivia bring the highest pedigree, seeking their first World Cup since 1994. Iraq offer tournament experience and technical quality. Suriname's qualification run represents Caribbean football's continued emergence. The winner faces France, Senegal and Haaland's Norway, a brutal introduction to World Cup football. Mbappe in his prime, Haaland announcing himself on the world stage. Mane's final act. Who advances? Group J. This is the defending champions group, and the question everyone is asking, will Messi be there? Argentina, the reigning World Cup champions and back-to-back Copa America winners, arrive in North America as favorites to defend their crown. Their CONMEBOL qualification campaign reinforced that dominance. 38 points from 18 matches, 31 goals scored, just 10 conceded. They became the first South American team to qualify, mathematically secure by March 2025, and delivered a statement performance that month, a 4-1 demolition of Brazil at the Monumental. The first time Argentina had won both qualification fixtures against their eternal rivals. Biggest star, Lionel Messi. The 38-year-old Inter Miami captain's participation remains football's most watched question. Messi will turn 39 during the tournament and has refused to commit definitively. "I would like to be there, to be well and be an important part," he said in October. "At worst, I'll be watching it live." His qualifying numbers suggest the magic endures. 8 goals and 11 assists, including a hat-trick and 2 assists in a 6-0 destruction of Bolivia. A 6th World Cup appearance would make Messi the first player in history to achieve the milestone. The workload management that defined his 2024 Copa America triumph, targeted minutes, surgical impact, will be critical again. Supporting cast: Lautaro Martinez, Inter, and Julian Alvarez, Atletico Madrid, provide elite attacking depth, both capable of carrying the goal-scoring burden if Messi's minutes are managed. Alexis McAllister, Liverpool, anchors midfield with tactical intelligence. One to watch: Franco Mastantuono. The 18-year-old made history on June 6, 2025, becoming the youngest player ever to appear for Argentina's senior team. Days later, Real Madrid announced his €50 million signing. At River Plate, Mastantuono had already broken Javier Saviola's record as the club's youngest ever goalscorer, then became River's youngest player to score in a Super Clásico, a 28-meter free kick into the top corner against Boca Juniors. The talent pipeline that produced Messi continues to deliver generational prospects. Now to Europe's most fascinating tactical project. Austria. 28 years. That's how long Austria waited to return to the World Cup, and they arrive as one of Europe's most fascinating tactical projects. Ralf Rangnick has transformed Das Team into what ESPN called Europe's relentless pressing machine. A full-throttle national team built on aggression, directness, and suffocating pressure. Austria topped UEFA Group H with dominant performances. A record-breaking 10-0 demolition of San Marino grabbed headlines. But the more significant results came against serious opposition. A crucial 2-1 away win in Bosnia, a 1-1 draw to clinch qualification. On October 13, 2024, Austria delivered a performance that resonated across European football. Facing Erling Haaland's Norway in the Nations League, Rangnick's side didn't just win, they dominated. 5-1.
The world's most prolific striker hit the post after 6 minutes and barely touched the ball afterward. Austria know how to neutralize elite strikers. That's a dangerous quality in a World Cup. Biggest star: Marko Arnautovic. The 36-year-old Red Star Belgrade forward has become Austrian football's greatest statistical legend. His 4 goals against San Marino pushed him past Tony Polster's long-standing record. He now has 47 international goals in 130 appearances. David Alaba, Real Madrid, finally gets his World Cup. The decorated defender has won everything at club level, but never appeared at a FIFA World Cup. Marcel Sabitzer, Borussia Dortmund, provides creativity and set-piece quality. Konrad Laimer, Bayern Munich, adds relentless energy. Algeria, a team seeking to match their 2014 heroics. The Desert Foxes return to football's biggest stage for the first time since 2014, when they pushed eventual champions Germany to extra time in the round of 16. That performance, widely celebrated as one of Africa's bravest World Cup displays, remains the standard this generation aims to surpass. Vladimir Petkovic, the former Switzerland coach, has rebuilt Algeria since his February 2024 appointment. The qualification campaign was clinical. Group G winners with 22 points. Biggest star: Riyad Mahrez. The 34-year-old Al Ahly captain remains the heartbeat of this team. His Premier League legacy, PFA Player of the Year 2016, Leicester's impossible title, Manchester City's trophies, needs no introduction. Supporting cast: Islam Slimani, 37, remains in the squad, Algeria's all-time leading scorer with 45 international goals. Mohamed Amoura has emerged as the exciting attacking foil. And in goal, there's a name that resonates: Luka Zidane, son of Zinedine, representing his mother's homeland. And finally, the greatest sporting achievement in their nation's history: Jordan. History, there's no other word for it. On June 5, 2025, coinciding with Eid al-Adha celebrations, Jordan secured a 3-0 victory in Oman and became the first Arab nation to confirm qualification for the 2026 World Cup. Across Oman and beyond, spontaneous celebrations erupted. King Abdullah II, watching from London, donned the national team jersey in an image that went viral across the Middle East. The nickname is Al-Nashama, the chivalrous ones. For a nation of 11 million, this represents the greatest sporting achievement in their history. Biggest star: Moussa Al-Tamari. The 27-year-old Rennes winger made history before Jordan did, becoming the first Jordanian to play in a top 5 European league when he joined Montpellier. A €9 million move to Rennes followed in February 2025. His playing style, left-footed, right-sided, cutting inside with pace and trickery, has drawn comparisons to Mohamed Salah. The defending champions, the pressing machine that neutralized Haaland, the nation that took Germany to extra time, and Jordan, celebrating the greatest achievement in their sporting history. Group J is loaded with teams who know how to win when it matters. Group K. We're in the final stretch now, and this group features one of football's most divisive questions. Portugal. The 9-1 demolition of Armenia secured qualification. Bruno Fernandes and João Neves both scored hat-tricks. Cristiano Ronaldo watched from suspension and posted, "We're at the World Cup," from his couch. The 40-year-old's red card against Ireland for elbowing Dara O'Shea threatened to overshadow Portugal's campaign. FIFA suspended 2 of his 3-match ban, meaning Ronaldo will be available from matchday 1. His 41 World Cup qualifier goals set the all-time record. His 143 international goals remain untouchable. This, by his own admission, will be his final World Cup. The debate is simple. Portugal scored 9-1 without him against Armenia. They scored 9-0 without him against Luxembourg. But Roberto Martinez remains emphatic. "I've never seen hunger like his." The squad depth ensures Portugal remain dangerous regardless. Rafael Leao provides explosive attacking threat. João Felix adds creative flair. Bruno Fernandes and Bernardo Silva orchestrate from midfield. Nuno Mendes has emerged as one of world football's elite left-backs. Now to a team built around one man's international brilliance. Colombia. James Rodriguez sat alone on the Barranquilla grass after beating Bolivia 3-0, reflecting on a career defined by international brilliance despite club instability. At 34, without a club after León declined to renew his contract, he remains Colombia's heartbeat. His 31st-minute opener against Bolivia ended a 6-game winless run and secured Colombia's 7th World Cup appearance. His 30 international goals sit second only to Radamel Falcao's 36. His 2014 World Cup Golden Boot remains the competition's most aesthetically perfect individual campaign. "We want to win it," James declared. "With the team we have, we'll stand up to anyone." Supporting cast. Luis Diaz provides elite wing play. Defensively, Davinson Sanchez, Galatasaray, and John Lukumi, Bologna, form a quality central partnership. Major concerns. Colombia's winless 6-game run before the Bolivia victory included draws against Argentina, Peru, and Paraguay, plus defeats to Brazil, Ecuador, and Uruguay. Those struggles expose defensive fragility against top opposition. Uzbekistan. Central Asian football's historic World Cup debut represents decades of infrastructure investment. Drawn against Portugal and Colombia, they face immediate tests, but arrive with nothing to lose and technical proficiency that has surprised opponents throughout qualification. One to watch: Eldor Shomurodov. The Roma striker brings Serie A experience and goal-scoring pedigree to a squad built on collective organisation rather than individual star power. The fourth spot, FIFA Intercontinental Playoff. The Congo, Jamaica and New Caledonia compete for Group K's final place. Congo's CAF playoff victories over Cameroon and Nigeria suggest dangerous knockout round capability. Jamaica bring Caribbean flair and MLS-heavy squad depth. New Caledonia's qualification represents OFC's continued emergence. The winner inherits a group where third place and round of 32 advancement remains achievable against Uzbekistan. Ronaldo's last World Cup. James Rodriguez without a club but still carrying a nation. Uzbekistan's historic debut. Group K is where legacies get written. Group L. Last group. And it might be the most straightforward on paper. But World Cups are never straightforward. England. 8 wins from 8 qualifiers, 0 goals conceded. The first European nation ever to complete a World Cup qualifying campaign with a perfect record and a clean sheet throughout. The Euro 2024 runners-up, beaten only by Spain in that Berlin final, arrive as genuine contenders to end 60 years of World Cup heartbreak. Tuchel, the Champions League winner with Chelsea, has imposed defensive discipline that former manager Gareth Southgate would acknowledge as art. Biggest star, Harry Kane. The 32-year-old Bayern Munich captain continues rewriting record books. His 17 goals in 13 Bundesliga appearances this season includes becoming the fastest player ever to reach 50 Bundesliga goals. 43 games, shattering Erling Haaland's record of 50 in 50. His 78 England goals in 112 appearances make him the nation's all-time leading scorer by a considerable margin. Jude Bellingham, Real Madrid, provides creative brilliance at 22. His ability to arrive late in the box and finish like a striker adds another dimension. Bukayo Saka, Arsenal, offers directness and goal threat. Phil Foden, Manchester City, and Cole Palmer, Chelsea, provide depth that few nations can match. Tactical concerns. Left-back remains Tuchel's unsolved puzzle. Experiments with multiple players have produced no definitive answer, and Tuchel's contract expires after the World Cup, creating uncertainty regardless of results. England should win this tournament. The squad depth, Kane's finishing, and Bellingham's brilliance make them favourites. Anything less than a semi-final would be a disappointment. Now to football's ultimate tournament specialists. Croatia, the 2018 World Cup runners-up and 2022 third-place finishers, return for what will almost certainly be Luka Modric's farewell tour. At 40 years old, the 2018 Ballon d'Or winner seeks one final statement on football's grandest stage. Zlatko Dalic's Croatia dominated their qualifying group, dispatching Czechia 5-1, with Modric orchestrating from midfield. 70 of 77 passes completed, a penalty scored, a beautifully weighted through ball assist. In that match, 18-year-old Luka Vuskovic earned his first cap. The first player born after Modric made his international debut to represent Croatia. The symbolism was unmistakable. Past meeting future. Biggest star, Luka Modric. After 13 trophy-laden years at Real Madrid, 28 major honors including 6 Champions League titles, Modric departed in July 2025, joining AC Milan on a free transfer. His 188 caps make him one of the most experienced players at the tournament. After Real Madrid, wherever you go, it's a step down. But Milan is the most ideal situation. Supporting cast. Joško Gvardiol provides elite defensive presence from Manchester City. Dominik Livakovic's goalkeeping excellence gives Croatia a chance in any knockout scenario.
Ghana returned for a 5th time since their 2006 debut, carrying West African hopes and the memory of that heartbreaking 2010 quarter-final. Luis Suarez's deliberate handball. Asamoah Gyan's missed penalty. A nation's World Cup dreams extinguished moments from history. Biggest star. Mohamed Kudus's 47th minute winner against Comoros clinched qualification with 26 points from 10 matches. The 25-year-old Tottenham midfielder has established himself as one of Africa's most exciting talents. His dribbling, close control, and ability to produce moments of individual brilliance make him Ghana's talisman. Supporting cast. Thomas Partey, Villarreal, provides midfield steel. Captain Jordan Ayew, Leicester City, at 34, heads to his 3rd World Cup with 7 goals and 7 assists in qualifying. And finally, CONCACAF's rising force. Panama. Los Canaleros return for their 2nd World Cup, 8 years after their emotional debut in Russia 2018, where they lost all 3 matches, including a 6-1 defeat to England. That tournament taught harsh lessons about the gap between CONCACAF and global elite. This campaign suggests Panama have learned. Thomas Christensen's side won their qualifying group, achieving historic firsts. Panama's first ever wins on Salvadoran and Guatemalan soil in World Cup qualifying. 60 years of English heartbreak. Modric's farewell tour. Kudus hunting revenge for 2010. Group L has it all. And that's every team covered. The 2026 FIFA World Cup presents football's most ambitious tournament. 48 nations competing across North America, culminating in the MetLife Stadium final. From Modric's and Ronaldo's farewell tours to Messi's potential 6th appearance, from Haaland's Norwegian breakthrough to Lamine Yamal's teenage brilliance, the narratives write themselves. Drop your predictions for all 12 groups in the comments so you can revisit them when the tournament ends. Subscribe for more World Cup coverage as the tournament approaches.